Hare Krishna, welcome to our second session of book distribution lecture series. Today the topic is Attracting the Mercy of Krishna and Srila Prabhupada. This is of course in the context of book distribution. Book distribution attracts the mercy of Krishna and Prabhupada. In the material world we used to this idea of getting whatever we want and getting it the way we want. For example, that I want to live in a certain way, do a certain job and earn money and then go on holiday where I want. This is a concept. But when we come to spiritual life, unfortunately, this idea also carries forward. People want to live in their own way, do bhakti in their own way, and try and do the services they want. So that is not an ideal situation. The idea is to follow Sri Guru and Krishna. How will we know what Krishna wants? We read Bhagavad Gita. So we have to prioritize what Krishna wants us to prioritize, not what we want. Because we are in Maya, and whatever we decide we want to do, this is not the ideal, this is not perfect. But if when Guru says, then he is seeing with the vision of perfection, because Guru is Sakshad Hari, Guru is Krishna. Directly he'll tell us what is the best thing for us. So now we are practicing bhakti. We are trying to practice bhakti. So advancement happens in bhakti when Krishna is pleased with us. Krishna has to be pleased with us, then we can advance. And we sing every morning, or we should be singing, Yasya prasadad bhagavad prasado, yasya prasada nagati kutopi. When we get the mercy of Guru, only then can we get Bhagavad Prasad, the mercy of Krishna. If we don't have the mercy of Sri Guru, then we'll not get the mercy of Krishna. So this idea that I'll do what I want, as I like, this is not a good idea, not in bhakti. And in actual sense, bhakti doesn't really begin until we are fully pure of material desires. We have taken to the path of bhakti, but it's not actually the ideal. What bhakti actually means is that we are fully purified and serving Krishna how he wants us to serve him with spiritual senses. So strictly speaking, now we are not on that platform because we are all in Karma Mishra, Jnana Mishra Bhakti. We have different desires. For example, we desire to get liberated, we desire to alleviate our suffering condition, and this is why we are doing bhakti. So strictly speaking, it's not bhakti, but in another sense it's bhakti. Bhakti means serving Krishna with love and devotion, that I'm serving Krishna, I'm not for money, for just because I want to please Krishna, although I have material desires. So until we get pure bhakti, it's something called Mishra Bhakti, mixed bhakti, Karma Mishra or Jnana Mishra Bhakti. And it's mixed with some personal desires of our own. There's that verse that comes in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Sarvopadi vinirmuktam tat paratvena nirmalam hrishikena hrishikesha sevana bhakti uchati. That it says that bhakti means engaging all the senses in the service of the Lord, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the Master of the senses. Hrishikena hrishikesha sevanam. When the spirit soul renders service unto the Supreme, one is freed from material designations and senses are purified. So even though we're not pure, when we are doing bhakti, the process of doing bhakti also liberates us. So how to become pure and get pure bhakti? Do bhakti. We do devotional service, then what happens? Then we become purified and we attain pure bhakti. So after some time practicing in bhakti, we get purified, and then we realize that I need to attract the mercy of Guru and Krishna. I need to become purified, and that's not possible on my own endeavor. If I'm just on my own chanting and reading, it's not possible. I have to approach a guru, I have to approach Vaishnavas, serve them, serve the guru and get mercy, and that will alleviate my condition. So this idea of needing to please Guru and Krishna, this is advancement. If someone feels that need, that I have to please Guru and Krishna, that shows someone has advanced. Because in the beginning, we are simply just doing some rituals on our own, not caring about devotees or Guru. So that shows level of advancement. Before that, we're doing bhakti in a sort of mechanical way and just for some enjoyment or some company of some friends. So when the idea later comes that I have to do something, even if I don't like it, this is a form of advancement. That let me do this activity in bhakti, even though I don't like it. Pot washing, book distribution, cleaning the floor, or whatever it is, serving prasad. In the beginning, it may not be palatable to some people. Some people prefer certain services and they don't like other services. But when we reach this level that I have to do it just because this is dear to Guru and Krishna, they want me to do it, so I want to do this, then it means the person got level of advancement, because he's not thinking about his own desires. Otherwise, we're all thinking what I want, how I'll enjoy, etc. So now when we desire to advance, we start to take steps to adjust our life and activities in such a way that Guru and Krishna are happy, not only me, because in material world, I'm used to my own enjoyment, arranging things as I want. But as we advance, then we think I have to arrange everything how Guru wants it, how Krishna wants it. And this is ideal situation for advancement. When we don't think that what do I want, but rather what Krishna wants. It may not be that we'll be at this stage right in the beginning. It may take time. But in the beginning, at least, we should understand that this is what we should be doing. So, yes, we have to arrange our life according to Guru and Krishna. How do we please Guru? And we should desire to please Sri Guru because he is non-different from Krishna. How do we please Sri Guru? And in his desires and his mission. How do we please Srila Prabhupada? Srila Prabhupada is the Shiksha Guru for all of us. And even though we may be initiated, or we will take Diksha, the Diksha Guru is a manifestation of Srila Prabhupada. In the sense that Srila Prabhupada, we didn't take Diksha from him. No, we took from a different Guru. But that Guru is teaching everything that Prabhupada taught and he's doing the same things. So he's like a manifestation of Prabhupada himself. But we have to take a Diksha Guru because who's going to guide us and speak to us and chastise us? So how do you please Srila Prabhupada? And thus attract his powerful mercy. Srila Prabhupada's mercy is very powerful. By Srila Prabhupada's mercy, Pangom langayate giri mukham karoti vachalam. People who are born in backgrounds who are not Vedic or not Hindu in the Western countries expanded this Krishna consciousness movement in a way that we could not imagine. Within 11 years, it became a household word. Everyone knew about it. 108 centers were opened all over the world. Ratha Yatra, magazines, books were produced, and that momentum is going on till now by the potency of Srila Prabhupada. Prabhupada is carrying the mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Mahaprabhu's mercy is something very amazing. Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Doya, Koroho Vichar, Chitar, Koroho Vichar, Vichar Karite Koilo, Pabe Chamatkar. This Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami says, if you like to study, Vichar means the Jnanis who like to contemplate on Brahman and in the impersonal. He said, if you like to do that, then you try to meditate on the mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and you will understand what a great and amazing thing that is. The mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is giving mercy to people who don't deserve, who don't want it, but they get a huge big step towards liberation just by his mercy. So Srila Prabhupada is Namaste Gauravani, Namaste Saraswati Deve, Gauravani Pracharini, the servant of Saraswati who is preaching Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's message. So how do we please Srila Prabhupada? First step, chant 16 rounds, follow 4 regulative principles, and read his purports. Read Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam every day. Prabhupada said 2 hours reading every day. This way we'll get his mercy. Not only that, but Prabhupada explained repeatedly to stop eating food not offered to Krishna, because in that sense what happens? We accumulate karma, then we cannot attain bhakti. So stop eating food cooked by non-devotees and reading daily, chanting 16 rounds, following 4 regulative principles. Because Srila Prabhupada desires this, we do it to please him, and we want to please him, we don't want to please ourselves. This is bhakti. Second step, if we read Srila Prabhupada's conversation, transcripts, letters and books, as well as his so many interviews, etc., we can understand that he desired strongly that we distribute his books. Srila Prabhupada wanted us to do book distribution. This is evident. Anybody who is constantly reading Srila Prabhupada's books or hearing his conversations or lectures can get this idea. So, if we really strongly want to get mercy of Prabhupada, then distribution of his books, Prabhupada says, as make it your mission in life. Prabhupada wrote letters to many disciples, we're going to look at them soon, about this point. Okay, so why did Srila Prabhupada want his books to be distributed? Why? Because he's the author. Authors like to promote their books, isn't it? But Prabhupada said very clearly, I did not write these books. Krishna dictated them to me. And today, we sent in the group, there was a invite explaining about this lecture. The picture showed Srila Prabhupada speaking, and in the background was Krishna. And in the book was Krishna. Krishna dictated these books directly. Prabhupada said, even I don't know how I wrote these books, even I read my own books. He said this. So, because his books were dictated to him by Krishna, he said that these books have the power to pull conditioned souls out of Maya and purify them. We have seen it. Powerful. So, Prabhupada, he was ordered by his Guru Maharaj to write many books in English on the science of Krishna consciousness and spread them all over the world. And this was the mission. This was his mission. He came to the West to preach Krishna consciousness in English and to produce books. His Guru told him that if you ever get money, print books. And at some point when he apparently forgot about it, he was reminded by a librarian who told him, why are you distributing these magazines? You should be distributing books. So later on, Prabhupada said that actually that was my Guru who came to me through this person to remind me to write the books, because he had told me and I was not doing it. So Prabhupada said this was his mission, to print many books in different languages and spread them all over the world. So this is the role of the leaders, this is the role of the temples, this is the role of the followers of Srila Prabhupada. The book distribution, this is the role. So now we are going to hear some quotes stating this is the most important activity. And it's the most important activity for ISKCON, which means for me and for you. Distributing books of Prabhupada, spreading his mercy means spreading the instructions and the mercy of the full Guru Parampara and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. By distributing the books, we are giving the mercy out freely. Anybody who gets a book can become a devotee. We can't understand how that is, but Prabhupada said anybody who reads Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, Nectar of Devotion, Krishna book and Teachings of Lord Chaitanya, I remember these 4 books, Prabhupada said that they will become devotees. How to make devotees? Distribute books. Fill the place with devotees. We are complaining that there's so much degradation, people are degraded, everything is so bad. Yeah, but the thing is that this degradation is due to lack of godly principles. So that's what we have to do. We have to again spread religious principles. How do you do that? We distribute books. This is the way to do it. Okay, so now let's look at some of the quotes. Most of them are from letters. Prabhupada says, actually, producing and distributing books is our most important engagement. All other engagements culminate in this one end, distribution of books. Letter to Tamal Krishna, this letter. The next one. There is no doubt about it, to distribute books is our most important activity. The temple is a place not for eating and sleeping, but as a base from which we send our soldiers to fight with Maya. Fight with Maya means to drop thousands and millions of books onto the lap of the conditioned souls. Just like during the wartime, bombs are raining from the sky like anything. Can you imagine seeing that when there's a war, the planes which are dropping so many bombs and missiles, it's like fireworks. The sky is lighted up with explosions. So Prabhupada is giving this analogy. He always gave a martial analogy. That means relating to war. He used to speak like that. So he, just like in a war, bombs are dropping like anything. So he says, similarly, we are supposed to drop so many books into the conditioned souls. We are supposed to drop the books, and so people become Krishna conscious, and so many devotees come. This is our role. And here, next letter. Our main business is to distribute my books. Prabhupada says, his books. And people will come gradually. Everything should be done for that purpose. How will devotees come? They will come, Prabhupada said, if you distribute books. Gradually people will come. What we need to do is spread the knowledge, spread the books. Okay, next one. This book distribution is our most important work. All the leaders should tax their brains for increasing the sales of our books. This is the meaning of leader. I have always said that if we simply rely on book distribution, all our needs will be met. I remember one quote Prabhupada said that I have hatched this transcendental plan that if we simply distribute books, we will get money and people will get knowledge and people will join the movement and people will get purified, because by distributing books, this is kirtan, so our heart becomes clean and we get purified. So this is our most important work. In this letter it says. Next one. Anywhere, this is our main program. Anywhere, not just here or there, India or in the temple, not in the preaching center, everywhere. Anywhere, this is our main program. Print as many books as possible and distribute. This is our main program. All other programs are secondary. So with this aim in view, work all together. Prabhupada is ordering, we should all work together to spread his books, because this is the main thing. This is the main activity. Regarding printing our books and lectures, I may inform you in this connection that I saw one bulletin of Indian Railways. This is an interesting analogy Prabhupada gives about Indian Railways. He says, it was specifically advised that every railway servant should see to it that the wheels of the carriages or vehicles must be moving always, which means that the railway is going nicely. So what it means to say that whatever we are doing in the railway organization, the trains should keep moving. Now, if the trains keep moving, that means everything is working properly, isn't it? That is the whole point. The train should go from one station to another. So he says, similarly, all of us should see that our literatures are profusely distributed. Similarly, how do we know ISKCON center is working properly, or ISKCON is working properly, or a devotee is in proper consciousness? If the books are going out. When the books are going out, then success, because preaching is happening, this movement will grow. And the message of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will reach everyone. That means that our missionary work is going on nicely. Prabhupada says, otherwise we are simply sleeping and eating. Otherwise simply we'll eat and sleep. Otherwise what will we do? We did all the services, do our work and finish everything and sleep and eat. But no, he says, we should tax our brains. We should work hard, tax our brains and spread the movement as much as possible by book distribution. In a discussion in Vrindavan, 1977, Rameshwara is saying, everyone is now wearing these double it buttons. The whole movement is simply thinking of doubling book distribution, doubling it. This is an interesting thing that Srila Prabhupada had a very common mantra. Whenever anyone read out their book score to Prabhupada, he said double it. Make it next time, make it double. This is what Prabhupada wanted. Double the score. So now everyone was, at one time, everyone was wearing the badge on their shirt or kurta, double it. We have to double it, double the books. Every year, that means every year in the book marathon, whatever we gave, next year we have to double it. And they were doing it. Prabhupada said, yes, that is our real mission. Yare dekha, tare kaha, Krishna upadesh, that's all. Prabhupada, that's all. This is our mission. What? That whoever you see, you tell them about Krishna. You may say, but I don't know about Krishna. So give them a book. Distribute the book. Let them know about Krishna. As we said in the previous class, we got so much benefit. Why are we keeping everything to ourselves? Every day we are meeting people at work, we are meeting people at college, we are meeting our friends, neighbors. Give them a book. Why should we only be purified? The main thing, next quote. The main thing is to distribute books more and more. This is the main thing. The other things, this is the main thing. That remark by the man in Houston is to your credit, that this movement is becoming an epidemic. One man in Houston, he got worried. He said this movement is spreading too much. It's like epidemic. You know how corona spread? Pandemic. He said it's like that. Then Prabhupada says, actually everywhere, envious people are against this movement, especially communists, because this movement is a threat to them. The main thing is to distribute books. So even now, unfortunately, in one particular country, devotees are facing persecution. And this is the reason, is because people are feeling the threat. There are other Sanatana Dharma groups. They're not a target because they're not a threat. Our movement is a threat. Prabhupada said that in the future there will be conflict because ISKCON is spreading, people won't want it. You know. And he said once, because once there were some of his disciples who were not preaching openly, not distributing books. And Prabhupada said, why aren't you doing this? Why aren't you distributing books? Why aren't you doing Harinam? Then they said that Prabhupada, people are getting upset. And Prabhupada said a comment. He said, why are you afraid of this? One day they will fire on you. He said, one day people are going to shoot Hare Krishnas. They're going to come after because they will want to stop this movement. He said, don't try to please people. In fact, Prabhupada's guru said, don't try to please the Janta, try to please Janardhan. You please Krishna, don't try to please the people, they'll not be pleased. Next quote. I'm glad to know that your sales of our literature and books are very good and improving more. It is natural that such distribution of literatures should increase as the people hear more about the Krishna consciousness movement. So distribution of our books and literatures is our major propaganda program. So now just imagine that there's a Harinam or there's a lecture. So people find out about Krishna. So Prabhupada said, as people find out more about Krishna, they'll take more and more books. In fact, there was a time I was doing full-time book distribution, non-stop. We were going morning, afternoon, evening, continuously, day by day, weekends, weekdays, we distributed many books. So we realized one point. Some people say, you see, many books have gone in this area, so we won't go there. But we found, and this was tried and tested, that wherever people took Prabhupada's books a lot, if we go back, they'll take more. It's as if that place is becoming purified. For example, Jayanagar, so many times we gave books there. And JP Nagar, because our center was there. Then in 2008, we were situated around in that place. 2006, we distributed books there continuously. So, but whenever we go there, we give so many books. We give sets of books, Bhagavatam sets. So this is the logic, that because these books are purifying, wherever they got distributed a lot, they'll get distributed much more. We should understand this point and not think that, oh, everyone has the books now. It's not like that. So many books went out in Bangalore and they're still taking them. So Prabhupada says that, yeah, it is natural that distribution of such literatures should increase as people hear more about Krishna. They want to know more and more. And then, of course, generations, the father took it, then the son is there, he'll also take the book. So we keep distributing. Now here, next quote, Prabhupada speaks about Nirjan Bhajan. Some people just like to go chant, do their bhajan and read in a corner. Prabhupada says, we don't approve that go in a solitary place and chanting. My Guru Maharaj did not approve. This is all nonsense. You cannot chant, Prabhupada is saying. He says, sir, you'll sleep only and think of all nonsense. You must be engaged for preaching work. So it's a fact. If we think, I'll just do bhajan, I'll read, I'll chant. Of course, we should chant 16 rounds and we should read 1 or 2 hours a day. but balance of time we should preach. If we say, no, I have to do different other things, but our mind will be disturbed. Rather, if we go out and preach, this is ideal. Now, there's this concept also that people going to the, some Himalayas or to some retreat and renouncing and becoming spiritual. So Prabhupada said, so-called transcendental meditation, go to the Himalayas and go to the forest. We are not interested in all this nonsense, Prabhupada says. Our only business is to spread Bhagavad Gita as it is, door to door, town to town, city to city. We are not going to seclusion. Prabhupada said, we are not going to go to some quiet place. We'll go in a busy place. Prahlad Maharaj said, this is professional bluff. I am going to the Himalaya, I am going to the forest. Prahlad Maharaj condemns that. He said, these are professional bluffs. Oh, they may be sincere, but still they are trying for their own salvation. Prahlad Maharaj said, I am not interested in that. I am interested for everyone's salvation. Everyone must go back to home, back to Godhead. That is a Vaishnava, Prabhupada says. Vaishnavas is always thinking, I got the mercy, let me spread it to my neighbor, let me go out daily and give some books. For my own sake, I go to Himalaya or in the forest and transcendental meditation, nonsense. We are not interested in those things. And then he's laughing. Prabhupada laughs, it says. So actually Prabhupada is setting the mood of our society. We can see that. The mood is that devotees should be preaching. Ours is a preaching movement. We mentioned that in the previous lecture. That that we are meant for preaching. So once we join this movement, once we get the beads, once we get the books and we are advancing, next step, you chant, you spread the chanting, spread the books. It's a preaching movement. And as we said also, the more we are interested to give others Krishna consciousness through books or through any other way, the more Krishna will bless us. This is how it works. Next quote here. I'm so much pleased to hear how you are so enthusiastic for distributing our books and literatures. Prabhupada says, Krishna will surely bless you. Prabhupada is speaking. This book distribution program is our real propaganda work, and Krishna is giving you intelligence how to do it nicely. Thank you very much, Prabhupada is saying. Now Prabhupada is saying that Krishna will bless us if we do book distribution. The whole topic here is attracting the mercy of Krishna and Prabhupada. What we are doing now is seeing how book distribution is so important to Prabhupada. How do you please someone? You do something that they like or they'll be happy with. Now we are seeing that this is the great mission of Srila Prabhupada. This book distribution is such a great mission. So if somebody takes it up, Prabhupada will be so pleased. And Prabhupada knows actually it's not his mission. This mission was started by Krishna. Krishna introduced this movement 5,000 years ago when he spoke Bhagavad Gita. And this Krishna consciousness movement is Prabhupada said, natural, transcendental, and authoritative, because it's based on Bhagavad Gita as it is. Our movement is based on Gita, therefore it's natural, transcendental, and authoritative. So to spread these teachings of the Gita means to spread this movement. This is the mission of Prabhupada. Here he's saying thank you very much. He's very grateful because his Guru Maharaj gave him this mission, and if we take it up, he'll bless us. And who is Prabhupada? He got the full mercy of Krishna. We'll get the mercy. Okay, another last quote here. I'm very glad to hear how the book distribution is increasing more and more. It's pleasing to Prabhupada. This is our greatest weapon. The more books are distributed, the more the ignorance of the age of Kali will be smashed. We are seeing misguided atheistic politicians. We are seeing all kind of bogus so-called gurus, sadhus, degradation in moral values, spiritual values. Everyone is lamenting, but Prabhupada gave the antidote. Why don't we take the medicine? Prabhupada said, this is our greatest weapon, that the more books are spread all over the world, all over our city, all over the country, then he says that the ignorance will be smashed. all this will be over. We don't have to worry about it. Just we have to distribute his books. The world is feeling the weight of this Hare Krishna movement, especially in your country. Prabhupada is saying the weight now is that the books went out and people started changing. Actually, there were many effects. Even now, you're getting some in America, some kind of dharmic politicians. And this is a result of book distribution. Also increased vegetarianism, natural living. This is a side effect. Of course, we are trying to spread love of God. Now, so Prabhupada says that we have to increase this book distribution work more and more to firmly establish this movement, which is the only hope for suffering living entities. Does anyone here have a desire to benefit people and to stop suffering? Well, Prabhupada is saying here that the only way for that, the only way for the hope of the suffering people is this movement. This is not exaggeration. Suffering is due to ignorance, avidya. So we need knowledge about God, who we are and what we should do, how we should eat, how we should run the country, how we should live. What is, who am I? We have to find out these questions. Who will answer these questions? Practically, it's only Srila Prabhupada's books that contains this knowledge. And so, Prabhupada says the only hope for suffering living entities is this movement, the Krishna consciousness movement. It's not an exaggeration. So Srila Prabhupada emphasized book distribution very clearly. We want to attract his mercy. Otherwise, how will we advance? As I mentioned in the beginning, that at some stage we find out that advancement for me will come when I get the mercy of Guru and Krishna. Now getting mercy of Guru and Krishna means doing what they want. Now we are very clear what Prabhupada wants. Here it is. Prabhupada says that very clearly about book distribution. So if it's pleasing to him, let us do that. Let us distribute books. This is what Prabhupada wants. We may have some idea what we like to do in bhakti. We want to do this, we want to do that activity or service. Or what we may have idea what we don't like to do. But at some stage, if we want to advance, we have to please Guru and Krishna. The more we please them, the more we will advance. In Bhagavad Gita chapter 4 text 34, this is in all the Bhakti Shastras it's mentioned to take a guru. So in Bhagavad Gita it's there, Tat vidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadekshanti te jnanam jnaninas tattva darshana. Just try to approach a self-realized person, devotee, a guru. The self-realized soul can impart knowledge to you because he has seen the truth. So he has seen the truth, he can reveal it. Now in the purport of that verse, there's a very important line which for me, I read many years ago, but it stuck to me. Excuse me, yeah. So one quote in that purport, Prabhupada says, satisfaction of the self-realized spiritual master is the secret of advancement in spiritual life. I'll repeat. Satisfaction of the self-realized spiritual master is the secret of advancement in life. Everyone wants to know what is the secret. What is the secret of your success? How are you getting such good marks? Or how are you running this business so well? We want to know what is the secret that I can advance. Because Durgam hipatas tat kavayo vadanti. Shastra says that the path of liberation is very difficult. Durgam hipatas, it's not difficult, the difficulty is in our mind and our senses and our attachments. So, Durgam hipatas. But how can I go very easily? Then I serve a self-realized devotee. I take shelter of a self-realized devotee and please him. So, of course, that's our Diksha Guru. But Diksha Guru is saying the same thing as Srila Prabhupada. Prabhupada said, we saw so many quotes how he's pleased by book distribution. So, if we want to attract the mercy of Guru and Krishna to advance and make our bhakti easy, make it advance quickly, then we have to please Srila Prabhupada, spiritual master. So this needs to be done. So by following the order of Srila Prabhupada and pleasing him, we will obtain His grace and spiritual advancement. How can we know this? How do we know that by following the order of Srila Prabhupada and pleasing him, we will obtain his grace? Because when we distribute books, we realize, people realize this, that it says here that we become happy. Book distributors have said this, that by distributing books, one becomes happy, one becomes peaceful, one becomes his chanting increases. Okay, I'll just repeat because we lost connection there. Okay, it says here that by following the order of Srila Prabhupada, we please him. How do we know that book distribution pleases Guru and Krishna? Oh, sorry, excuse me. Yes, I on mute. Distribution, what will be the effect? I know this, for many years we're doing book distribution, and I'm starting and stopping because I have other services in Krishna consciousness. But one who distributes books, I know this as a fact, their chanting becomes very relishable. When they chant Hare Krishna mantra, they feel very alive. It's, they're relishing it. And another. So this happens when you distribute books. I remember when I do, this is what happens. And then I have to stop because we have management, I have things to do. Then at that time, again, it comes down. Distribute books my whole life. I also took this commitment. Sometimes I travel. When I travel, I do it wherever I go, different country, different city. I do book distribution, even on the way, even on the bus, foreign countries. So what happens then? Then we stay alive in Krishna consciousness. We get life. And that then we know. Why does that happen? Because it's pleasing to Krishna. When it's pleasing to Krishna, then this is the result, that our spiritual life takes off very nicely. And basically we advance. Gita says that the conditioned souls of this material world are all eternal parts of Krishna. We are here, and when we disconnected from Krishna, he also became very upset. He wants that we come back. If someone is acting to bring back soul, if he dedicates that I want people to get that desire, and then of course the action of doing that is so pleasing to Krishna, and it's so pleasing to his representative, Sri Guru. Guru is also engaged in the task of trying to bringing people back to Krishna. So it's very pleasing to Guru and Krishna when we do this activity of book distribution. We can attract the mercy and therefore advance. People want to know how to advance. How do I chant well? How we have to, the best defense is offense. We are being attacked by Maya, so what do? We attack. This is a logic in sports, in basketball, football, and in army. The best defense is offense. So now, this one very instructive analogy Srila Prabhupada has given on how we can get the supreme benediction of Krishna when we distribute books. Okay, look at this analogy. Prabhupada says here, it's in a letter to Uttama Shloka when he was in Vrindavan in 1975. Prabhupada wrote it from Vrindavan. He said, the Sankirtan devotees are very, very dear to Krishna. Those who are distributing books, who are preaching, even doing Harinam, they are very dear to Krishna. Because you are doing the field work of book distribution, Krishna has immediately recognized them as the true servants. Okay, now this ISKCON movement is going on. And the person who takes the books and goes out and distributes books, he's in the front line. Because he's directly meeting the conditioned souls and telling them, come to ISKCON, come to Krishna, be liberated. So the fact that he is going out on the ground, not sitting, just going out and risking everything, and not afraid of rejection, and not, of course, he may be afraid, but he's ignoring his fear and discomfort that I'm approaching people and giving books. So because he's gone on the ground and distributing the books, practically he becomes very dear to Krishna, Prabhupada says. Because you are doing the field work of book distribution, Krishna has immediately recognized them as true servants. Now Prabhupada is giving an analogy. Just like during wartime, a farm boy or ordinary clerk who goes to fight for his country on the front immediately becomes a national hero for his sincere effort. So Krishna immediately recognizes a preacher of Krishna consciousness who takes all risks to deliver his message. Okay, just think of this analogy. You know, a clerk. Who is a clerk? Or who is a farm boy? Okay. Now, generally speaking, these people are not significant in society. Someone wants to know who is owning this supermarket or who is the president. But no one wants to know who is that farm boy. Not even the farmer, farm boy who's helping the farmer. Or who is the clerk, data entry, someone on a desk. These are insignificant. But if such people go and fight for their country on the front line, people are so grateful and they become famous. Oh, this person has gone on the front. You know this person? Yes. He's just from that office. Now he's fighting a war. He's defending our country. People get so happy. And when he comes back, he's a hero. Government gives him awards. They give him pension, everything. So similarly, Prabhupada says, so Krishna immediately recognizes a preacher of Krishna consciousness who takes all risks to deliver his message. Similarly, Prabhupada says that even ordinary devotee, there's no such thing as ordinary devotee, but just I'm saying that a person who looks like normally just chanting in his room and following like so many devotees are there, but now this person says, no, I must distribute books of Prabhupada. So he gets on that mission to distribute books. He immediately attracts attention of Krishna. Immediately Krishna focuses on him. Who is this person trying to bring souls back to me? Who is he taking so much risk and so much effort and just for me? So immediately Krishna recognizes him. So you can imagine how we get the mercy. Then Prabhupada says, it is called Dhira Vrata, determination. These boys and girls are Mahatmas, great souls. This is a shloka from Bhagavad Gita. Mahatmanas tu partha daivim prakritim ashrita bhajanti ananya manaso gyatva, it says gyatva bhutadim avyayam. Chapter 9, text 13. O son of Pritha, those who are not deluded, the great souls, they are under the protection of the divine nature. They are fully engaged in devotional service because they know me as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, original and inexhaustible. This verse is applicable here. When you get time, look at that verse. Prabhupada says that verse is applicable in this case. He said, if these boys were under material nature, these boys means book distributors, were under material nature, they would not take so much risk. They are Mahatma, they are real Mahatma. Not that long beard and saffron cloth Mahatma. They are unswerving in their determination. Dhira Vrata. Then Prabhupada says, all glories to the American devotees. They got the blessing of Prabhupada because they were doing book distribution. So Prabhupada is saying here that because they are taking all risk and distributing books the whole day, not thinking about their welfare and not, I mean, what do they want? They're thinking what Prabhupada wants. So for hours they'd go distributing books. I heard they were distributing books before 8 hours, 8-9 hours. Now we get fed up 2 hours. So 9 hours they do Harinam and book distribution. So Prabhupada said that they're not under the material energy. Someone cannot do that. They must be spiritualized. If they're not, then they will come under the spiritual energy. Okay, so now, just coming towards the end here, but now what we are looking at is analogies that Prabhupada is giving and how Prabhupada is saying that Krishna will be pleased with you. Because as I said in this topic, the title is Attracting the Mercy of Guru and Krishna. Why do we want to attract their mercy? Because we'll advance. We want to advance. So, Prabhupada said that Krishna is very pleased. These boys, they attract the attention of Krishna immediately, just like in the war. Now, another analogy is here. He says, I'm very pleased to see how the book distribution is increasing in Germany. Give these 2 boys who have done so nicely my thanks. Prabhupada said, tell them, thank you for me. Prabhupada says, Krishna will bless them. Ye yatamam prapadyante tamstetaiva bhajamyaham. Krishna becomes more and more pleased by seeing the increment of book distribution. Prabhupada saying this directly. Krishna will become pleased, and Krishna becomes happy when book distribution is increased. This is not it's Prabhupada's movement, but we have to understand this is Krishna's movement. When we are distributing books, this is what God wants. Supreme Personality of Godhead. How to attract his attention. Devotional service is absolute, but one who preaches his message becomes very dear to Lord Krishna. So Prabhupada is making a point here that devotional service is, anything is good. If you're washing the pot, that is so great. If you're mopping the floor, that is so great. If you're writing books, that's so great. But Prabhupada said that is true, but generally one who preaches the message of Krishna becomes very dear to him. That we should see. Okay, so let us attract the attention of Srila Prabhupada. Prabhupada has given what is very dear to him, what is important. And if we do that, then we will be very pleased. But not only that, he directly says here that Krishna will be pleased if we do his this activity, if we increase the book distribution. And even a so-called, as I said, there's nothing like an ordinary devotee. They're great personalities. But if someone's thinking, I'm just a normal devotee, I'm just chanting, I'm not anyone so great. But if you distribute books, you are so great. You are great because of you, this movement will spread. And the whole Guru Parampara wrote, and their realizations, people will get access to that. And when a devotee comes in a family, the whole family becomes purified. If he gets liberation, 21 generations are liberated. It's such a great thing when a devotee comes. And you're facilitating that by distributing books. So, okay, so you may say that, yes, I want to engage in book distribution, but I don't know how to do it. I don't know, I don't have a clue. But actually, that's what we are teaching here. Systematically, now we are just covering groundworks. So now we'll come to practical ideas of how to distribute books and ideas for book distribution. So a lot of you have taken books from us. Great. This is a great thing. We've sent books to you. We are going to send now. All over in our group, we are sending books, even different parts of India and around Bangalore. And people have taken responsibility to distribute. So this is a very great thing. And for just to give you knowledge, to encourage you, we're going to speak some lectures here. So tomorrow we discuss, it will be either methods of book distribution or basically how to do it, the practice, one of these two. I will put in the group. You may say, I don't have time to distribute books. But are you saying we don't have time for Guru and Krishna? Because, you know, bhakti, all of you are doing bhakti. So bhakti means you want to come to Krishna. So we have to come to Krishna, we have to please God. And for that we should have time. For bhakti we need time. Just like we give time for our job, we give time for our family, we give time. So we have to give time to Krishna. Otherwise, that's bhakti. Okay? Then we can grow our bhakti in that way. Okay? So at least this 1 month, let us endeavor. Of course, we should do this continuously. Why to stop? Why just 1 month? But at least this 1 month, let us focus, come together, daily make a plan to distribute at least 1 book, if not 10. Make a plan and please Krishna and Srila Prabhupada, attract their mercy. Hare Krishna. Any questions you want to ask or comments? Yeah, tomorrow there's a youth class, and yeah, the question is, we're having a youth class, so we cannot have a program. Yeah, actually, so tomorrow, for example, I'll be speaking, but it could be that one of us will speak, or if the class will not be there, we'll inform you. We'll inform you by the morning, in good time. Yeah. Okay, so we'll end it here. Or Suraj has something to say? No. Correct. Yeah, that's good. Okay, fine. So, yeah, perhaps we can have it at an earlier time, just before, maybe late afternoon, let's say 4 or 5. Okay, that's a good suggestion. So maybe we'll do that. I'll communicate it, exact timing. Okay, great. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Shri Harinam Sankirtan ki jai.